Hello and welcome to the 2021 Styrian GP analysis for Esteban Ocon. Today I'll be running through a summary of his race, digging into some lap times and looking at the teammate battle between him and Fernando Alonso. Starting P17, obviously got knocked out in Q1 unfortunately during qualifying, ended up P14. 10th quickest lap time for the race and 10th quickest pit stop through the pit lane as well, but did not win his teammate battle this weekend. Positives, bit of a recovery drive for Esteban, although it must be said that he didn't necessarily catch up that many positions once you take out the retirements of Russell and Gasly. Did have relatively good underlying pace though, so that's hopefully a promising sign for next weekend. Some negatives, qualifying pace obviously, and getting stuck in quite a few DRS trains, as did a lot of the midfield throughout the weekend. Let's dig into the strategy for Esteban. Had that free choice being P17 and unsurprisingly went for the medium tyre and then moved on to the hard tyre. Let's have a look at lap times for Esteban throughout the race. You can see, as with a lot of the midfield, really consistent pace because the DRS train was just going at the same speed for everybody pretty much. So relatively good pace for Esteban, relatively consistent. A few blips here at the back, and that mainly related to the leaders lapping the midfield, but nothing really notable from a lap time perspective or tyre degradation for that matter. Having a look at the team battle with Alonso, and if you're enjoying this analysis, feel free to check out the other videos from this race weekend. You can see relatively consistent, and this is really just the number of cars between Esteban and Alonso in those first 25 laps in the DRS train. And you can see Alonso pitting first off the soft tyre and how quickly Alonso caught up. They're taking out almost a second a lap on Esteban on those fresh tyres, and Esteban pitting and doing the same honour back to Alonso, with Alonso stuck in a bit of a DRS train, and you can see relatively consistent pace from both teammates for a period of time there, and then Esteban just seemed to get a little bit slower and he got caught up with Ricciardo and also Raikkonen and Giovinazzi as well, that pack there, and then lost a little bit of time through there. And then Alonso, you can see just losing a little bit of pace those last 3 laps. In the end, about 11-second gap between the teammates. And for the key battle this week for Esteban, I've picked out Daniel Ricciardo. Nothing like some ex-teammates racing on the racetrack. You see Ricciardo there having that engine issue and falling down, but staying ahead of Esteban. And slowly that gap increased over time. And then Esteban pitting first, and then Ricciardo taking that option to pit a little bit later, which I'm not sure necessarily worked out for them, unfortunately. And you can see there, Ricciardo slowly catching in on Esteban, and then getting past, and then slowly building that gap up again. But then Ricciardo getting caught up with Raikkonen and Vettel and Bottas lapping him, and you can see Esteban ended up only being about a 2-second gap in the end, so quite close there between the ex-teammates, but Ricciardo coming out on top. So that is the race recap for Esteban Ocon. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, press subscribe. Post in the comments, what did you think of Esteban's race this weekend? And I'll see you next week. Thank you.